Since you're watching this program, it's very likely you're a fan not just of the 9 Network, but St. Louis Public Radio, too. And on that station, you may have heard a moving narrative by a St. Louis woman on the weekly NPR segment devoted to stories told by everyday people about their lives. What this particular woman had to say about her life certainly got our attention.
In today's world, you're more likely to know someone either as a friend or a family member, and certainly as patients, who has a disability. It's a very compelling issue that we need to understand.
When disability rights activist Colleen Starkloff speaks, as she did to this group of Washington University medical students, she knows how to drive home a message.
The world has changed dramatically, and that's because we changed it. We, being people who got involved in disability rights and said there's more than health care here. We have to have education and health care and housing and transportation and access to public spaces so that we can get out there and be part of the world.
Starkloff is co-founder of St. Louis's Starkloff Disability Institute. Her powerful storytelling ability found a national audience on an edition of StoryCorps, which airs every Friday on St. Louis Public Radio. But before we explain how that came about, here's a bit of Starkloff's backstory. In 1973, Colleen Kelly was working as a physical therapist on her first day at St. Joseph's Hill Nursing Home in Eureka, Missouri, when she saw the man who would change her life.
So I see this fellow wheeling down the hall. He was drop dead gorgeous. That was it. That was the beginning of the rest of my life.
Meaghan Starkloff was only 36, but he'd been at St. Joseph's more than a decade. He was nearly killed in a car accident on a rural St. Charles County highway. It left him paralyzed from the neck down. Starkloff was 21. After his accident, he took up painting and became quite accomplished. Starkloff learned to hold the paintbrush in his teeth. The themes of his work reflected his situation.
The idea of isolation and segregation and also freedom and emancipation.
But he had a dream, quite literally.
He had a dream one night that he got out, that he built a place where people with disabilities could live that would be all accessible.
That dream became reality when the couple married in 1975 and Max moved out of the nursing home. The Starkloffs had already founded Paraquad, a pioneering center for independent living. And in 2003, they founded the Starkloff Disability Institute, which promotes full inclusion of people with disabilities. Max became a nationally known champion for disability rights. The lifelong St. Louisan advocated for curb cuts and disabled parking. His efforts made St. Louis the first city in the country to use buses with wheelchair lifts. And he was instrumental in passage of the landmark 1990 Americans with Disabilities Act. Along the way, he met presidents, congressmen, and celebrities. He even got a star on the St. Louis Walk of Fame on the Del Mar Loop. And the biography, Meaghan Starkloff and the Fight for Disability Rights, was published in 2014. But one of the toughest challenges the Starkloffs would face was more personal, fulfilling their dream to have children.
The social worker came out to our house and basically came out to tell us that because Max couldn't throw a ball, couldn't play catch with his children, he really would not be a good father.
True to character, the couple persevered and eventually succeeded in adopting Meaghan, who is now married with children of her own.
She was the youngest baby the agency had ever placed, and she was ours. She made me a mom.
After Meaghan, the couple adopted Max and Emily, which brings us back to StoryCorps.
When I first heard StoryCorps, I turned to Max and I said, we've got to get on that show.
But before that happened, Max died in 2010 of complications from the flu. He was 73, more than half a century older than doctors predicted he'd live in the days immediately following his disabling car accident. Despite her loss, when word got out that StoryCorps was coming to St. Louis, Colleen saw an opportunity, not with her husband, but with her daughter.
I thought, my God, this is the chance to tell the story of our family and about the rights that we fought for.
Other local StoryCorps fans were eager to share their experiences too. StoryCorps site manager Emily Jansen.
Reservations were full within a minute. It's a very excited community of supporters here. St. Louis should be very proud.
Colleen and Meaghan's story was among more than 140 interviews recorded in StoryCorps' mobile booth during its month at the Missouri History Museum in the fall of 2014. The converted Airstream trailer houses a recording studio that travels the country, preserving the extraordinary stories of ordinary people. Since 2003, StoryCorps has archived more than 50,000 interviews in the Library of Congress, making it one of the largest oral history projects of its kind. And if you've ever heard a StoryCorps interview, you know they often leave a lump in your throat. Thus, the box of tissues in the middle of the interview table. Are there moments when, you're listening to some of these that you get kind of emotional?
Yeah, it happens all the time. Witnessing that honesty between people, it can be very emotional.
For Colleen and Meaghan, the hour they spent sharing memories in the StoryCorps booth was a profoundly personal experience.
There were people everywhere outside, but when we were in there, I felt like it was just us and there was nothing else going on.
It was an excellent mother-daughter moment. It's one that I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
Not long after, Colleen got a phone call.
Hi, this is StoryCorps, and we are going to air your story on NPR this Friday. And she stopped me dead in my tracks.
It was a testament not only to Colleen's story, but to the power of her storytelling. Only about 1% of StoryCorps interviews are broadcast on National Public Radio.
It is Friday when we hear from StoryCorps, and today we have a story remembering a man named Meaghan Starkloff.
The morning that it aired, I couldn't sleep all night. Actually, I was so excited. I was in my bed in my room, and it aired. And I have to tell you, I cried. I've had messages from all over the country from people who
I had a few too.
heard that. Wasn't it great? Mm-hmm. People like to hear somebody else's story.
By sharing her story, Colleen keeps Max's dream alive and continues the fight to empower the disabled.
People with disabilities speaking out and telling our story and telling that we matter and that we want to be part of society.
And so, Colleen keeps telling her story, and people keep listening.
Good luck to you, and thank you so much.